In order to mitigate the importance of aircraft, women are able to lay down their aircraft only for the sake of saving fuel and obtaining more life savings for them. Accessibility. It is the intention of the woman to throw the air onto a piece of rum, a male friend who directly stopped the tank. Men's friends. There is a large number of alcohol, which can be replaced by gasoline as a fuel, and perhaps they can rely on it in a shelf. Women action. In the absence of any protection, the launch of aircraft and the seizure of external steel pipes come to the top, followed by a point of positive direction, strong. He may be removed at any time. In safety, she came to the yard, opened the bunker of the tank, followed by a re-engagement of women, bunkers, men and friends. See pleadings, immediately dressing the bottles from the plane. Who is going to inform him of his intention to vacate the liquor into the aircraft. Abruptly, bleeds. It was followed by a second battery of men and boys. Women were sensitized to the fact that they were able to take advantage of the machinery, but only of it. The tubes will finally be stepped up. The third product, which was delivered by a male friend, remains very successful in getting the balloon into the balloon. To move, only his physical strength is fast enough to support non-residentiality, but it can only be prayed at speeds up to X. At this time, the boyfriend was surprised to find the Grand Sea Central. Perhaps they have the only opportunity to land. In the case of women, who are skilled in preparing for the fourth bottle by the end of the night, aircraft suddenly occur. The battery is followed by a seemingly women, who are immediately through and the entire human being left out. Fortunately, she took care of several male friends to remind him that men and women start with the tax system, which is too large, not dressed, and are fortunate to return to the aircraft. Unfortunately, however, whether the tank is fast enough, see the suspension of the rotary, who can only rely on inertiality to continue with the force for many years. In both cases at a time of desperation, women suddenly send a welcome screaming call, formerly left behind, and they were finally rescued. Air operations sliding and trying to start landing. It is evening. As a result of the incident, the aircraft is now in full notice. Water segment behind the tragedy, with the slowing down of aircraft into the seabed, the influx of large quantities of seawater, the first of which was sobering that women and men were quick to learn lessons. The bunker doors are then erected and can be accessed from the benthic spelling. Female friends are not allowed to go to the sea but are not visible. He was preconceived that wire forces had simply re-energized into the seabed and found a male friend. Cards have lost consciousness at the cradle. He immediately seeks a life-saving clothing bulb in the hands of a male friend, exhausting the entire body of kinship. Behind and then opened the life-saving instrument, allowing male friends to jump automatically. Success in floating the water surface, the death of a girl relative will continue to be practiced manually. Respiratory, totally awakening to men. Two persons who survived the carnage were given a new life on the beach until the water was taken and they were able to make a difference. It is simply not the small islands that are found to be, but only one of the small sands that appear on the sea. At a time of upsurge, they are once again inundated and also in possession. Production. 4 weeks, one eye visit, is the water of the sea. At that moment, he left the tears of desperation, which was done to try them. Doing. It is not envisaged that the final outcome will be replaced by the inundation of the two persons to the penultimate. Livelihoods. 2 footages are insufficient. At this time of desperation, women end up suffering in 5 places, and she does not want to be so dead in the Grand Sea. Maybe you be able to support your life-saving dress, if any, may ultimately be able to live, but the refusal of a girlfriend will not be the subject of any matter. Abandonment of male friends and friends. The girlfriend also chose to accept it. In the case of 2 individuals who sat quietly in the face of death, the negligent fishing boat was to be successful. 2 persons arrived on board. Perhaps this time of death, the 2 persons were not expected to come to the sea.